Despicable ambulance worker snatched bank card from patient, 87, with 8 broken ribs and withdrew. An ambulance technician has been found guilty of snatching the purse of an 87-year-old patient and withdrawing £1,400 from ATMs. Anne in Mogford dipped into Joyce Bealey's handbag after being called to her home where the OAP had fallen, breaking her shoulder and 8 ribs. After dropping Ms Bealey at the Royal Devon and Exeter Hospital, Mogford went straight to a Tesco Express, parked the ambulance outside, and took £500 from the cash point, using the stolen card. At the end of her shift that night, the 38-year-old was filmed in the foyer of the hospital withdrawing another £400, Devon Live reports. The Southwestern Ambulance Trust medic, who has worked for the NHS for 17 years, made 2 more withdrawals at an Aldi before hiding the purse at the hospital. Mogford denied theft and fraud but was found guilty by a jury at Exeter Crown Court. She lied that she had used her own bank card at the ATMs. Recorder Martin Meek UC said he would adjourn sentencing for reports. He warned Mogford he had in mind a prison sentence due to the breach of trust. She has no previous convictions. The offenses followed an incident on July 1, 2017. The jury heard that Mogford was on duty when alerted to an elderly woman who had fallen at her home. When Mogford and her work colleague arrived at 9:30 p.m. they found Ms Bealey on the floor and hallway of her bungalow. Mogford's paramedic co-worker went to get a stretcher while the defendant stayed with the injured woman, but popped back into the house alone to fetch her dressing gown. The pair then took Mrs. Bealey to hospital. 4 days later, Mrs. Bealey's daughter visited the house and found her mom's handbag in the middle of the living room. The purse was missing. She checked her mom's Lloyd's account and found 4 withdrawals totaling £1,400. She said the knowledge that somebody was using her mom's card while she was in hospital made her feel sick. Within an hour of dropping her off at the Royal Devon and Exeter Hospital, Mogford had visited the Tesco and taken £500 out of Mrs. Bealey's account. She had also kept £40 in cash that was in the purse. The next morning £400 was taken from the ATM in the foyer at the hospital. CCTV shows Mogford brazenly walking up to the ATM and taking money out. She appeared to be reading the PIN from a piece of paper in her left hand. There were further withdrawals at Aldi on July 3, making a total of £1,400. Mogford said she was on the school run at the time of the Aldi withdrawals. Lloyds Bank agreed to reimburse the cash after the theft was reported. Helen Pope, matron at the hospital, said she found the purse and PIN number in the triage room at the hospital while she was clearing up on July 9. It was on top of a medicine cupboard, out of sight behind some pharmacy bags. She reported the find and the purse was given back to the patient, who was still in the hospital. Mogford admitted a third charge of perverting the course of justice. When police questioned her about the alleged fraud, she produced a false bank statement showing she had taken out £50. She said she panicked and used her laptop to make the false documents. The defendant was in debt at the time of the offense and the subject of an individual voluntary arrangement. She said she had run up debts in catalogs and shopping after the loss of a child.